Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm John, and you're watching Road Reality. And today we're going to do a little tech talk. Not a TED talk, but a tech talk. And it's 50 degrees out, so yay, nice and warm. I still have my heated gloves on. That's a little bit of tech. Well, let's get moving. All right, here we go. Let me use my navigator here to figure out where I'm going. First off, if you're watching this and it's 2025 or 2022, leave me a comment below. Let me know how the tech on bikes is doing. I'll be sure to appreciate it in the future. But anyway, we're in 2021 and bikes have seen great improvements in tech in the last few years. Things like adjustable suspension. I think some bikes have adaptive suspension on them now. And then there's things like navigation screens, ABS, cruise control, heated grips, heated gloves, heated seats. Harley, I'm going to date this video right here, but Harley announced a heated and cooled seat for their 2021 model year, which is exciting. I really want one of those. I've had them in my last 2 or 3 trucks, and I love that feature. So yeah, I'm a tech fanboy. But where do we draw the line with tech? I mean, motorcycles are supposed to be simple transportation, but these days they're anything but simple, and they're anything but easy to work on or cheap. They're not even cheap anymore. I mean, a bike like this is 30 grand now. I mean, ridiculous. Sport bikes, they're half the price with twice the tech, and they're selling like hotcakes right now. And I can see why. There's a huge appeal for 6-axis IMUs. They take into account your lean angle, traction, all sorts of stuff. 6 axis is worth, I guess. 6 axes? Yeah, I think that's the word. So they take into account all those variables, and then they adjust the engine's output based on that. How does it feel like I'm catching on fire? Hey, who wants to see Brighton Dam in reverse? Raise your hand. I don't. So I can see the appeal for the 6-axis IMUs in a bike. And when Harley added their RDRS system, you know, that added a 6-axis IMU to there too. So even Harley's doing it. And you know it's got to be old school tech if Harley's doing it now. This bike doesn't have that though. I kind of wish it did, but I like this bike the way it's set up and I don't really need it. So, yay. But where do we draw the line with tech? Honda's tried out airbags on the Goldwing. They have a cascade of buttons that runs down the dash of it, and it looks like you're riding a 2-wheel Accord. And yeah, I don't know, I just don't get it. That bike doesn't speak to me, and it never really has. Every time I sat on one, I was kind of uncomfortable. There's just a ton of buttons. And I like the simple layout of this bike. 4 gauges, 1 big screen, no hard buttons, except for on the handlebar controls. And most of those I can ignore on a daily basis. So yeah, like I was saying, how much tech is too much in a bike? Do we go from airbags to automatic braking? I saw somewhere recently that, I think it was Honda, had a self-leveling bike. So if you lean it over, it rights itself and it won't fall over even at a stop. Gyroscopes, am I right? I think that's really neat tech, but personally, I like leaning a bike over a little bit. You know, it really gets your heart rate up, really makes you feel connected to the bike, and I like those things. That's why I ride motorcycles. So personally, I'm happy at the tech level we're at, but where are you? You know, are you pining for a panhead, or are you looking for the latest technology and all the tech improvements? I think the only thing I'd like to add to this bike, oh, it's windy. Ooh. I think the only thing I'd like to add to this bike is like an air ride, so I can lower it down at a stoplight so I can flat foot it without losing my ground clearance for going around corners. All right, we're on 108 eastbound. I guess you could say we're eastbound and down. Yes, I just made a Burt Reynolds movie reference. And yes, half of you probably didn't get that. So anyway, back to tech. I happen to like the radio, the cruise control, the ABS, but if you're pining for a panhead, why? Is it because you want to be in more control of the bike? Or is it just a distrust of anything technological? Let me know. In my four-wheeled vehicles, I'll take all the latest and greatest tech. My new Ram has adaptive cruise, it's got the automatic braking front and back, sensors, 360-degree cameras, all those creature comforts you could ever hope for, all in one vehicle. And I love it for that because I don't really want to drive. When I'm in my cage, I just want to sit back and relax and then get to my destination. But when I'm on a bike, yeah, I don't really want all those helpers. A couple of helpers is okay, things to get me home and to be a little bit more safe, but I don't want the bike doing all the work. That takes all the fun out of it. Can't do stuff like that if the bike's doing all the work for you. Am I right? So anyway, I want to hear from you in the comments below. What tech is on your bike and how much tech is too much? Where do we draw the line? You've already heard my take. Now it's your turn. Another tech feature that's often overlooked is engine technology. I mean, here we've got a damn near 1900cc V-twin putting out gobs of torque and okay horsepower, but it still gets 43 miles to the gallon in my hands. And there's something to be said for that. That is really remarkable, isn't it? And nowadays you've got automatically adjusting valves and all the other fuel injection and everything. Having owned carbureted bikes and fuel injected bikes and still owning carbureted bikes, I can tell you that fuel injection is so much easier to live with. It's way better, way more fuel efficient, makes more power. I really don't see a downside to that technology. If you do, let me know. Technology is always creeping forward. Where do we draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Let me know in the comments below. And until I see you again, keep the shiny side up, folks.